if Congress and the President cannot reach a compromise. The U.S. Senate giving us an opportunity to talk with Alabama Republican Senator Richard Shelby, the ranking member of the Banking Committee. He is live in D.C. this morning. Senator Shelby, good morning.
Good morning.
And as you know, all Americans are waiting and watching to see what is going to happen with great concern. Do you have any hope today that you guys can reach a compromise before the end of the year?
Well, we've got to the end of the month, Janice. I hope we will, but the President's going to have to get involved. He's going to have to get real in dealing with the Republicans on this. You know, I've been here a while, and I can tell you there's always more borrowing, more spending, and more taxing, but fewer cuts. We cannot spend and borrow our way to prosperity. I mean, this is a temporary thing. It's very big. It will affect every American in some way if we don't do something. But the President is saying, oh, he's going to have his way or the highway. And I think that the President needs to get involved and quit campaigning.
Well, we keep hearing terms like compromise and work on this, and the President has said that he would compromise too, but as you well know, the big news yesterday was Timothy Geithner, saying that there will be no compromise if the Republicans don't agree to the 2% of Americans, the rate increase on taxes for them. Is that a compromise? Is that something that you could even deal with?
No, it's not anything I would support. I'll tell you what, I didn't come up here to raise taxes. I came up here to bring equity to our tax system. What we desperately need, and this would be a good time to make a big step in that direction, is reform of our whole tax code. We could probably raise some revenue without raising taxes. We could lower individuals' taxes. That's what we need to do. We don't need to single out a group that produces, a group that's prosperous, a group that creates jobs, and say we're going to overtax you. Sooner or later you're going to kill the goose that laid the golden egg, and that's what this administration doesn't understand.
Senator, you mentioned tax reform, and if I remember correctly, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember talking with you over the years. You've talked a lot about tax reform. You've mentioned flat tax over the years. So from what I'm hearing,
absolutely.
Go ahead and talk about that for a moment.
Well, I've been an advocate of and introduced legislation over the years for the flat rate tax. I wish we could do this because that would lower just about everybody's taxes and change our whole economy. We would be creating jobs, would be saving money, would have a lot of capital. But the special interests here have created the tax code. It's whoever could lobby for the highest, I guess, price of some kind at the right time. And that's our tax code. That's what it's made up of today.
Unfortunately,
it's not for the people. There's a lot of corporate welfare in America that needs to go.
And unfortunately, that compromise is not on the table right now. So let's talk about what is.
No, it's not.
Let's talk about what is at issue. Okay, so we're looking at tax cuts from what the President's point of view. Tax cuts on Americans making less than $250,000 a year while increasing it on the rest of America. Your concern is that when they use the term wealthy, if someone or a business is making $250,000 a year, that's not wealthy in a lot of cases. Is that correct?
That's not wealthy. That's doing well, but that's not wealthy. What I think the President's got it all mixed up, this economically. He needs some economic lessons. He needs to go back to the real world. If we're going to create jobs, and that's what we're talking about in America, we're going to have to turn these entrepreneurs, small businesses loose, because they're going to create 80% of the jobs. If this goes over the cliff, it's going to be on the President's hands. He thinks it's going to be on our hands. But the President is being arrogant. He's being smug about all this. I think he could go to the table. We could do something in 3 weeks and avoid the cliff, as you call it.
Well, as you know, both sides say each side needs to compromise more. So let's talk about, there has been talk of the millionaires tax bracket increase on millionaires and above. Would that be a compromise to you?
Well, I think we shouldn't be coming out here saying we want to raise taxes. What we should do is how can we generate jobs for the economy without raising taxes. If we get the economy going, we're going to bring in more revenue. But the bottom line, there's always more borrowing, more spending, and more taxing. But no talk of cutting or slowing down this debt. We're headed down the road of Greece if we don't watch it. And this is just a stop on the way.
Senator, there has been talk, too, of raising revenue by capping deductions for people. What are your thoughts on that?
That might be something that's something that I believe that Speaker Boehner laid out or alluded to. That might be a step in the right direction. But anything short of raising people's taxes, because there will never be enough. Today, it might be said we're going to raise taxes. The Democrats said we're going to raise taxes on the people who do the best in America. The next thing, there won't be enough revenue. You're going to have to get into the middle class. You're going to have to raise taxes on them. So whether they say it's you today and the other group tomorrow, be careful what you wish for.
Senator, Americans have to believe this is a bad case of chicken, that we believe someone's going to compromise before the end of the year. As we wrap up, what can you tell Alabamians and our viewers that can make them feel any better?
I can't tell them anything to make them feel better today, except I believe at this point in time that we will work out something before Christmas. We might not, but a lot of it's going to depend, again, as I say, on whether the president is really interested in reaching a compromise. Senator, if he's not, we'll probably go over the cliff, and that's not good. It's not good for him. It's not good for the country.
All right, let's hope that doesn't happen. Senator Richard Shelby,
I hope so.
Thank you so much for being with us today. It's good to see you again.
Thank you, Janice.
All right, and thanks again to the U.S. Senate for providing that opportunity to talk to Senator Shelby. Whew, a lot.